Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Saturday Bhagavad Gita class. Let's chant the Mangalacharan prayers and we'll take it there from there. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri
Shri
Guru
Guru
Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh
Krishna Gopika
Kanta
Kanda
Radha Kanta
Kanda
Namostute
Sute
Tapta
Tapte
Kanchana
Kanchana
Gaurangi Radhe
He
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrishabhanusute
Vrindavanusute
Devi
Devi
Pranamami
Paranami
Hari Priye
Panchakatara
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa
Kripa
Sindhubhya
Sindhu
eva
Bhayavacha
cha Patitanam
Nam
Pavanebhyo
Bhavnebhyo Vaishnava
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय
Padaya Krishna
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते
Saraswati
देवे
Devi Gauravani
गौरवाणिणे
Prachari
निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
Acharine
जय श्री कृष्ण
Krishna
चैतन्य
Chaitanya
प्रभो
Prabhu
नित्यानंदा
Nityananda
श्री
Shri
अद्वैत
Advaita
गदाधार
Gadadhara
श्रीवास आदि
Srivasadi
गौर
Gaura
भक्त
Bhakta Vrinda
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna
हरे
Hare
हरे हरे राम
Ram
राम राम हरे हरे हरे
Hare Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
राम राम
Ram
राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna
हरे 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 राम
Hare
राम राम हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna.
All right. So we were on verse 45 last week. Now today we are going to chant verse 46 and discuss from there onwards. So in 45, um, Krishna talks about um, the karma kanda to karma yoga, that he tries to bring Arjun from karma kanda rituals, because he was talking about that. And Krishna initially only asked him that Kutastvam Kashvalabidam Vishame Samupastitam Anarishtam Swargam Akirti Karam Arjuna. In the chapter 2 only, he asked him that Kutastvam Kashvalabidam. From where are you getting these questions in your mind? This is the behavior of an Anarya, one who is not Arya. Anarya Jushtam Aswargam. By becoming Anarya, you can't even go to Swarga Loka. Aswargam, Akirti Karam Arjuna, it will bring you infamy. And you are talking like that. Basically, he was in summary, he was taking, you are talking like a crazy person, You are talking, he didn't say that you are talking like a fool, but you you are crazy. How can you talk like this? And I thought that you are quite Vidwan. You are Anarya, talking like Anarya Jushtamaswargam. Akirti, you will bring infamy to your family, to your complete Kaurava dynasty, it will bring Akirti because of you. It's quite a big meeting. So So their discussion that happening is on a very, very big level, which is very deep in terms of taking the sense of that and then understanding it properly. Yeah. So now 47, he will conclude that discussion on karma kanda to karma yoga. Okay. And this section is also very important. So 246, yavanartha utapane
यवाने अतपाने
sarvatah samplutodake
सर्वदा संप्लुतोदके
anvas sarveshu vedeshu
त्वां सर्वेषु वेदेषु
brahmanasya vijanatah
ब्राह्मणस्य विजानता
yavanartha udapane savartah samplutodake
यावान् अर्थ उदापाने सर्वदा संप्लुतोदका
Tanva sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah
भावं सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानता
Full shloka in a go. Yavanartha udapane savartha samplutodake tavan sa sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah
यावान् अर्थ उदापाने सर्वदा संप्लुतोदका ब्रह्मवर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्रह्मणस्य विजनाता
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. I repeat, all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Couple of questions to all of you. Who has read the purport? Please raise your hand. Okay. So
I read it, Prabhuji.
you read it? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Rishi raised the hand. Yes, he has read it. Wonderful. Cool. Okay. So the reason I'm asking you because there are things which are very important, and a couple of more things which are I don't want to repeat every time that when you come to the class, please have tilak on your forehead, and especially on Ekadashi day and all that. After you take shower, put the tilak on. It brings the devotee, bhava in you from there onwards. So your whole day becomes so purified. The tilak has a lot of power in it. Yeah. Okay. So now Krishna is going to talk about, he will conclude this contrast between the karma kanda and the karma yoga with the verse from an example drawn from the Vedic cultural situation of wells and rivers. Like we just read that reservoir and a glass of water. So if you look at the verse, you see Udappane refers to a small bodies of water, such as a well. Sampluto dake, water is flowing everywhere as in river. So Krishna is saying whatever the purpose is served by the wells is also served by flowing river. So Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu. Similarly, the purpose of all the Vedas is served by Brahmanasya Vijanataha. By a Brahmana, by a transcendentalist who knows the purpose of the Vedas, that purpose is completely served by such a Brahmin. So, what is the point of this verse? The point is, if Krishna told Arjun that Veda talks about three modes, so go beyond the three modes. Nishtraigunya Bhavarjunaha, he says that, earlier verse. So one has to follow the Vedic literature. How can I give up? So it is not giving up. You are going beyond. And how does one go beyond? He says in Vedic traditional culture, there used to be a different wells which serves different purposes. Say a well for washing clothes, a well for drinking water, a well for other bodily ablution purposes like that. So when there were wells like that, when there is a flowing water, river, because the water in the river is flowing and water is so much that various purposes can be served over there. That water keeps flowing and takes care of those things. So similarly, he says, yes, in Vedic literature, there are different things. For fulfilling the desire, you do this for fulfilling that desire. You do this for that particular desire. So differently, these things are talked about in the Vedas, but all the Vedas have an ultimate purpose. And ultimate purpose is to take everyone towards Krishna. Yeah. I sent the summary to everyone, right? Chapter 2 summary. So, hope, okay, great. So, if one understands that ultimate purpose of the Veda is this, then that person can understand that ultimate purpose, and that person can do different Vedic rituals, and he doesn't give them up, but he goes beyond that. So wells are for the sake of water, and in river there are so much water. And similarly, the Vedas give different injunctions for different purposes. But what is the ultimate purpose? That Krishna will also talk about in the further chapters. In the 15th chapter, he will talk about that. The verse Vedascha Sarve Aham Eva Vedyo. In that verse, he talks about that. So the purpose of all Vedas is to know him. Vedescha Sarva Aham Sarva Aham Vedya. He said that I am all the Vedas. I am none different than the Veda. So beyond the Vedas, that is me. You have to go beyond these Vedas. He's not saying that you don't believe in the Vedas. Yes, Veda give you the knowledge, and that knowledge is for a specific purpose at that particular time. It has particular verses, particular rituals to follow, certain kriya, karma, and all that. Like, for example, someone's naming ceremony, that is also defined in the Vedas. Similarly, when someone dies, Lupta Pindo Daki, so that is the question that he asked in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What will happen to the, people, those who die and nobody is able to, uh, water their pinda. Pindadan karne wala koi nahi hai, So Arjuna is asking the right questions on everyone's behalf. That's Lupta Pindo the case. So Lupta Pinda means that Pindas who are getting Lupta because no one knows that who their ancestors were. So in that case, nobody is there to do the Udakashanti. Udakashanti means, so the Pinda is created out of boiled rice, right? So cooked rice and then you create the Pinda. So there are, for each Pitra, there are, number of uh, balls of rice are kept, and on that there are black tills, sesame seeds are kept, and then some duba and all that, all. So there is all Karmakanda rituals, and then we do a certain type of puja and then offer water to them, and we offer prasadam, whatever we have made at home, and then like that we do the udaka shanti for them. So that's how we are feeding all the pitras in the entire family, both sides, mother's side, father's side. There's no discrimination. Even in the Karma Kanda, there is no discrimination. So Vedas talks about absolutely neutral, that it does the Udaka Shanti for both the sides. So what Krishna is saying, that you come beyond these Vedas and look at that I am the Veda, all Vedas are in me. So the purpose of all Vedas is to know Krishna, to love him, to return back to him, to back to Godhead. So Krishna has not introduced him till now, but he is pointing the real purpose of the Vedas is not the three modes. It is beyond the three mode. That is what you have to seek. And if you seek that, then actually you are Brahmanasya Vijanataha. You are a Brahman who know everything. So in this section, Krishna has contrasted Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga and has described how the results of Karma Kanda are temporary and the results of Karma Yoga are eternal, and how one needs to have one-pointed intelligence. Ekeha Kuru Nandana. So the one-pointed intelligence in contrast with multi-poked intelligence, and then he says that this will take one beyond the three modes of material nature and towards eternal destination, that is Nitya Satyastha. Is it making sense now after reading the verse and understanding the whole purpose of this? Any questions? Sumindra Mataji, are you having some confusion there? You are muted, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Now I'm trying to understand, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Now, what you're saying, it making sense, Prabhuji. I'm trying to understand. Yeah.
So we read through the Traigunya Vishaya Veda, and then it says the Nishtraigunya Vishaya Veda. So from Traigunya Vishaya Veda, you come to Nishtraigunya Vishaya Veda. Means go beyond the three gunas. There is Sattva, Raja, and Taba. Go beyond them.
Yeah.
Go beyond them means what? Go to Shuddha Sattva. That Shuddha Sattva is beyond that. So we are not worrying about Satguna only. Satguna is for only collecting the punya. But Shuddha Sattva is beyond that. That means we are only worrying about the spiritual quality. So
Okay.
we are seeing everything in Krishna. We are not going for get to Ganpati, this Devta, that Devta, and all that. We are not seeking everyone's help, because in that what is happening, we are only seeking the help of these demigods to achieve something. We don't want to do that. We want to go beyond that. And after Nishtagunni, he is saying that forget about that. Only concentrate on the Karma Yoga. Okay? In the Karma Yoga, if you are following the Vedic rituals, those Vedic rituals are part of the Traigunya. You need to go beyond that. And all Vedas are in me. They all come out of me. Vedeshu sarvo aham veda vedyo. Similarly, in the 7th chapter, 14th verse, Krishna talks about, Devi hi aisha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamaya ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So Devi hi aisha gunamayi. This external energy of mind is consisting of three modes of material nature. Devihi Aisha Gunamayi. That this Gunamayi is three gunas of mind, which is the external energy of mind.
Yeah.
If you want to overcome them, Mama Maya Durat. So he says that this Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamaya Ye Prapadyante. If you want to come back to me and you want to cross this ocean of Taigunya, of these three modes of material nature, then you surrender to me. Then you will be able to cross this ocean very easily. So look, I mean, discussion is still going on till 7th chapter as well about these. So how Arjuna was so difficult to understand things so easily when he had Lord in front of him, he's still asking questions, asking questions, asking questions. And he's still not satisfied. And finally he says that, yes, now I accept you as my spiritual master. Please guide me. But is he asking those questions unnecessarily? Anyone wants to answer this question? Is he asking purposely? Yes, he is asking purposely. Because he wants to give, Arjuna wants to give all those answers for all of us. And Krishna is allowing him to do that. Otherwise, not easy to become a friend with Krishna. He is his friend as well as a devotee. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So he is qualified to become a friend of Krishna. So if Krishna told Arjun that Veda talks about three boards, so go beyond the three boards, so one has to follow the Vedic literature. And how can I give up? So it is not giving up. You are not going beyond. And how does one go beyond? He says in Vedic traditional culture, there used to be different wells that he talks about. And the wells are once they are full, then the water overflows. Like in Australia, we have water for our backyard and front yard. Yeah. And we have to write that we are using recycled water to, to water these plants. We have to put that board. So that recycled water is similar to what we have, the different types of rivers. In this, you have to do this. In this, you have to do this. In this, you have to do this. Like that. Okay. So Krishna is saying that don't look at these small, small ponds in which you are doing this, in which you are doing that, in this you are doing that. Look at the reservoir. And that reservoir is who? He is only indicating that reservoir is me, Krishna. Look at me. Everything is in me. Does anyone have problems in pronouncing the verses? So Mandira
Yeah,
Mataji,
Prabhuji.
you had problem. I know. That's why I wanted to take this up. As well as Rehenuga had the problem. Saloni, you also have problem, right? So, if you open Srila Prabhupada's book, okay, every verse below that, there is di diacritics. So, on every alphabet or the letter, there is either a line on above. So that makes it a pronunciation as like ya. So ya and a, above a there is a line, so it makes it ya. Yavan artha. Yavan artha. Okay. Udapane. See, on above A, there is a line again, Udapane. And when it is a dash, that means we have to give a pause before saying pane, Udapane. Makes sense now?
Yeah.
Those who don't know Sanskrit, for them I'm telling this. Sarvatah samplutodake. There is no problem in pronunciation of this word, right? Now come to the next line. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu. Now here, before, below S there is a dot. That means it is sure. Okay? So तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु, again S के नीचे डॉट है.
What it represent, Prabhuji?
Sure.
Ah.
Instead of a sir, it is sure. Now next, brahmanasya. So again A के ऊपर लाइन है, brahmanasya. Vijanataha. Is making life simple?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you give it a try, Sumandira?
Yeah, I'll try, Prabhuji. Yavan artha udapane sarvatha sampuloto. Prabhuji, can you help with the line? Sam sarvatha sampulododake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata.
Yeah, it will make it easier for you as you go. Yeah, because the first time you read, you read it very nicely. Saruni, do you want to give it a try, please?
Okay. Yavan
With this logic in mind.
Yavan arta udapane sharvata samplutudake tavan sarveshu videshu brahmanasya vijana taha.
You have totally surpassed me as well.
Oh,
It was so beautiful. Renuga?
यावान् अर्ध उदपाने सर्वथा सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः.
Wonderful. You all are becoming pro now. That's wonderful. Shri Shakti Mataji, do you want to give it a try?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, excuse my voice because I have cold.
You got a beautiful voice. Go ahead.
यावान् अर्थ उदापाने सर्वथा सम्प्लुतादके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्रह्मणस्य विजानतः.
Very nice. Rishi, your voice is gone or you can try? Okay, let it be. Varun?
It's Yavan
quite bad.
artha.
Yeah, go on, Varun.
Yavan artha udapane sarvata sampludodaka tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata.
Wonderful. Rishi, you were saying something.
I was saying the voice is very bad today.
Okay, so you don't want to recite, right? That's okay. That's all right. But you are good. I know that. So I don't have to worry about much about you. So I think everybody is good, will become good once you keep this in mind, because these diacritics are very, very nice as far as the English to Sanskrit pronunciation is concerned. So keep this in mind. You should be good. If you don't know Sanskrit, how to read Sanskrit. Okay. Can someone please summarize this verse? Okay, I'll start with Saloni.
oh. So basically what it says in here is in this day and age we are living, it's not possible for us to study all the Vedas, all the books that are available. And we are lucky we are in this Kali Yuga, and it's easier for us to approach, to go to Krishna is by chanting. It doesn't matter what you are. You could be the lowest dog eater somewhere. It says, Kandala.
Chandala, yes.
Yeah. So
Chandala.
even if you're
Yeah,
chanting, it doesn't matter what you are, who you are. Chanting will bring you closer, will bring you back to Godhead.
cool. Yeah, but in this particular verse, Krishna has not used that analogy.
Um,
However, what you're saying is correct.
yeah.
So in this particular verse, he's talking about the Traigunya, Nishtraigunya, Karma Kanda, and now he's bringing to Karma Yoga. So that's why
Oh,
he is, taking us beyond that concept. So irrespective whether we are in Kali Yuga or not, what Krishna is saying here, that all the Vedas are in me.
Yeah.
So you don't have to follow the Vedic rituals in order to do the uh, Udapane, Sampradota, Udako, and all those things. So we don't have to worry about all those because you have to concentrate upon me. Everything is in me. Even
mm,
Vedas are in me.
yeah.
Okay. Anyone else want to give it a try or डरना नहीं है. You have to just go ahead. What will happen? You will only say wrong something, but that's my duty to correct. Yeah.
Prabhuji, just remind me of Srila Prabhupada story when Srila Prabhupada landed in New York and then he prayed to Krishna that Krishna, I'm a puppet in your hands. So just guide me. I just completely surrender it to you. So just guide me. I don't know nothing. You just guide me. So that was remind me of his story, Prabhuji.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So basically, why Krishna is saying that you need to keep the Vedic rituals, etc., in this because Arjuna is trying to establish the facts, thinking that he knows a lot in terms of literature. That's how this chapter starts, where he starts putting question in front of Krishna and shows as if he is a knower of all the knowledge. But Krishna says that you are not what you are talking about. From where did you learn all this? This is not what I'm expecting it from you. Kutasvam kashmalabidam. Hmm? That's what Krishna is saying. So he is actually chastising him on this aspect. They don't talk like this. Though you know a lot of things, but what you are talking is nonsense. And you are talking like that you want to run away from the battlefield, you want to go to uh, on into the forest and do your samadhi and just do yoga. You will run away from here. But people will say that, oh, he's darpok, he just ran away from the battlefield. And you will become infamous. At the same time, it will bring akirti to you and you will become infamous. Anarejustam aswargam akirti karam arjuna. Okay. Yeah. So now we'll move to verse 47. See, we can move verse by verse, but only thing is, my only worry is if we don't get the content right in our mind, then it will be of no use. That's the reason I try to repeat the same thing again and again and again so that the idea goes deep in our heart and mind properly, that what this chapter is all talking about. And making sure that the devotees understand that everything is in me. Okay, so verse 47. Now, after this, Krishna will be describing the next section that uh, he will tell how to practice the Karma Yoga. Now, he will talk about that. Very beautiful and known verse. Everyone knows this verse, but no one knows the meaning of it. Karmanyevadhikaraste
कर्मण्य
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
ma phaleshu kadachana
मा
मा
फलेषु
फलेषु
कदाचन
कदाचन
ma karma phala heturbhur
मा
मा
कर्मफलहेतुर्भुः
कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
ma te sangotsva karmani.
मा
मा
ते
ते
सङ्गस्त्वकर्मणि
सङ्गोऽस्तु कर्मणि
Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana
कर्मण्ये
कर्म
मन्ये एव दकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन
ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangotsva karmani.
मा
मा
कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर्मा ते
कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर्माते
सङ्गोऽस्त्व कर्मणि
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 Once more. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangotsva karmani.
मा
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 कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर्माते
कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर्मा ते
सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
Yeah. Anyone who wants to give it a try to chant this verse? Ranuka, do you want to give it a try?
कर्मे एवाधिकस्ते कारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि.
Wonderful. Very nice. Okay. Anyone else? Because I think everyone would know this verse. Yes, Subindra Mata, do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, this one I know, Prabhuji. That's why I want to say.
Okay.
कर्मण्ये एविधाराष्टे मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर्मा ते सङ्गोऽस्व अकर्मणि.
Yeah. Very good. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself in the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Repeat again. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Never be attached to not doing your duty. So we have practical examples of this. Some devotees in the devotee community I am talking about, that they do some services which they don't want to give it to others. They get attached to that service. See, we are talking about here the attachment to Krishna, and people, devotees themselves are getting attached to a particular service. That, oh, I love doing this service, that's why I want to do it. I don't want to give it to anyone. I don't want to share this with anyone. So an attachment to these things, I mean, anything can come in this world, Even in the devotee community, this can happen, that I want to do this particular service because I love it. There are issues with the temple management, they don't give particular service to particular devotee. And that happens in all the temples. I'm not talking about one particular temple. Because when it comes to human, it is error. Everyone makes the mistakes. So we don't have to worry about. We are human, we are going to commit mistake, but again, we have to learn from those mistakes. So we have to do introspection, retrospection, and then come and learn and do a whole lot of churning in our brain of those things, that what went wrong, what I did do good, what I didn't do well, all those things. Okay. So Karma Yoga is to be discussed in this particular verse. Till now, we have discussed superiority of Karma Yoga over Karma Kanda from 38 to 46. So 47 onwards, the section changes. Now, new episode is starting of the series, of the serial. So in this episode, you will be learning beyond what is there in the Karma Yoga. So when the Karma Yoga is to be practiced, this section, we can see the chronological flow of Bhagavad Gita as we are talking about Karma Yoga. At the same time, these characteristics can also apply to Bhakti Yoga. See, the principles remain the same, whether it is talking about the Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. So we get eternal result that we require one-pointed intelligence. For eternal results, what is important? That Ekeha Kurunandana. So that thing remains same. Ekeha Kurunandana. So you're one-pointed at, your goal should be one-pointed. Ekeha Kurunandana. So we get the eternal results. And by having the one-pointed intelligence, this can apply to general transcendence. Transcendence means going above the material world and looking at the things from that level. Don't get attached to the activities that we are doing. Go beyond that. So it also applies to Bhakti Yoga. So within the sequential flow of Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna has not explicitly referred to himself, it refers to Karma Yoga. But in Prabhupada's purport, if you have read it, he refers to everything in Gita to its ultimate conclusion. And from that perspective, all the section can be seen as referring to Krishna consciousness. So this verse is most often quoted verse of Bhagavad Gita. Everywhere, people talk about, yes, we have seen B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata. Like, and do you know any shloka of that? Yeah. Karmanye vadhikaraste mahapaleshu kadachana. So ask the meaning. Oh, I don't know. I think the meaning could be, so they will try to, think about this way, that apna karam karo aur phal ki ichha mat karo.
Yeah.
So this is the normal answer of the people. Some people go beyond that and say intelligence is कर्मण्य वाधिकर से, तो बाघ के रास्ते जाओ ही मत. वाधिका रास्ते है ना, कर्मण्य वाधिका रास्ते. So वाधिका means they think that it's a बाघ का रास्ता है ना, वो वहां से बाघ आएगा, टाइगर. So that's don't go there. So go somewhere else. Some very intelligent people they talk about like this. I mean, negatively intelligent people. Whereas the meaning of this verse is not that. The translation is not that. Yeah. So 1/4 of this verse is quoted as Karmande Vadhika Te. That we have right, adhikar, authority to do karma. But it has 4 parts in each. So each of the part has a significance. The first fourth is we have right to do karma. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Second of 1/4 is we don't have right for fruits of our karma. We should not demand the fruit. Ma karmafal heturubhur. And third 1/4 is one should not think himself producer of the fruits. Mate sangotsa karmani. So, one should not think that because I shouldn't get the fruits, so I will not do karma only. If I'm not getting the results, then why should I do the karma? I'll just sit at one place and just look at everywhere, Let others do the work. I will only sit at one place and look at everywhere. Let people do the work. And I will enjoy the fruits. If I'm not supposed to get the fruits, then why should I do anything? That is a very selfish way of thinking. But Krishna is telling us to go beyond this and go and transcend yourself from that thinking. Transcending means not remain on the material level. Go to the spiritual realm. And when you look at the spiritual realm, then there is a half and logic. If one take Bhagavad Gita, only those sections in which fit into our worldview, and we reject those which does not fit into our worldview, then we miss out on what Bhagavad Gita can offer us. Bhagavad Gita can offer us all-round elevation, understanding of ourselves and God and our relationship. That come if we accept Bhagavad Gita as it is, completely, without making any changes to what Krishna is saying, without making any interpretation that suits uh, our selfish motive. You have to accept it as it is, the way Krishna has said. We don't have to draw our own conclusions. And that is where the beauty of Srila Prabhupada's purport comes into picture. Then why we should be reading it. So, most of the people only quote 1/4 verse saying Karmanye Vadikaraste. I have a right to do my work. So actually speaking, what does this verse actually talking about here? If we look at the flow of Bhagavad Gita, essentially Lord Krishna is talking to seek the eternal. So don't seek the temporary. Seek the eternal benefit of it. So he has not explicitly stated that, but he has talked about the eternal soul in 2.11 and 2.30. And then he told, be detached from the material from 38 to 46. He has talked about that. So when we do qualitative understanding of Bhagavad Gita section wise, which is a thematic understanding of Bhagavad Gita, which I have explained in my summary, which I have sent you. Okay. So that way you should be able to understand the chronology of the themes and how the themes are coming together in order to give us the complete meaning of the entire envelope of the chapter 2. So if you remember, Sukhe Dukkhe Samye Krutva, that means you are the eternal soul and everything in material is superficial. So don't be excited about that. Be equipoised. And who is equipoised? One who is always Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna Ka Bhasha. If you remember that verse. Sthita Prajna Ka Bhasha. How you remain Sthita Prajna in every situation. Right? How people make out the difference between a devotee and non-devotee, even at workplace or walking on the road, dealing with other people, etc. Because the qualities of the devotee, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he deals with other people, all those things are very important. And the devotee quality does not only mean that I only do my mala and after that I do whatever nonsense I can. No, that is not what the purpose is. By doing mala, we are actually getting charged up in Krishna consciousness. And after getting charged up, we are into more Krishna consciousness. So being equipoised, we understand in happiness or in distress, we are still same. I know it is difficult. Yes, it is very difficult. In sukha, dukkha, same kritva, If someone very close to my heart, if dies, can I remain Sthita Prajna during that time? I will not. But there could be difference. The way I will be expressing my feelings and the one who is non-devotee expressing the feeling. Because we know that this end is going to be there one day, one fine day. And we are prepared for that. Because life is a glorious journey to death. Our life is a glorious journey to death. If you look at it from that perspective, and before that glorious journey ends, what we have to do? We have to do all that which is important for us to reach to Krishna. That means our daily rounds, our daily study, our sadhana, our preaching activities, making more and more devotees. Who is more attached to Krishna? Or Krishna is more merciful to the one who brings not himself, others also to him. The one who brings more people to Krishna, Krishna becomes more happy with that. So the purpose of our Vaishnava Training Academy is to produce the spiritual leaders who can distribute this knowledge of Krishna consciousness to others. So qualitative understanding of Krishna conscious knowledge is very, very important. Not just, oh, I know 15 verses now and I understand all of them. Yes, that's fine. You should. But what beyond that? Have you transcend from where you were? So that is the main question, right? And are you becoming Sthita Prajna? Or trying at least to become? Right? Any questions?
In this context here, it
Yeah.
says, perform your prescribed duty. What exactly is referring to?
Okay.
Is it in the material world or spiritual?
Okay. So you as a mother, what is your duty towards your daughters or son?
To raise them, look after them, love them.
Exactly. So that is your prescribed duty.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Simple.
Yeah.
But Krishna adds something more to it. Also feed them prasadam. Give them
Yes.
Krishna consciousness once you become a devotee. So then it is a complete package.
Mhm.
So karma yoga is that prescribed duty plus Krishna consciousness. So that everything comes in harmony that way. And then you are giving a complete package to your daughter or son or whoever. Giving Krishna Prasadam, to reach to somebody's heart is through stomach. It's a very famous saying, isn't it? So serve Krishna Prasadam and reach to their heart. So 3 important points today. I said that how to remain Sthita Prajna. Second is life is a glorious journey to death. How to make it glorious is in our hands. And third thing is your prescribed duty. So your prescribed duty is what? That whatever you are doing for as per your ashram that you are in. You may be in a brahmachari ashram, or you are in a grastha ashram, or you're a vanaprastha, any ashram you may be. But the duty is that you are also giving Krishna consciousness to others. And the students of our academy, they have an added responsibility is to distribute Krishna consciousness. Why do we need important verses to be by hearted? So that if there is any discussion going on, we can quote the verse and take them to the source, scripture, from where you are quoting it. Because people always ask, what is the proof? So what kind of proofs that we have in the world, in this, as per our spiritual text?
Hanuman Praman.
Yes.
The other one is
You missed the first one, Rishi. Pratyaksha Praman.
Pratyaksha. Yes.
Yeah. Pratyaksha Praman, Anumana Praman, and Shabda Praman.
Shabda.
Shabda Praman. So these are the 3 pramans that we have. The proofs. People always ask proof. Right? So pratyaksha is seeing is believing. But can you see New York sitting here? Not talking about Google Earth. I'm talking about your own eyes. Can
Not
we
in.
see? We cannot see, right?
Yeah.
Sitting here, I can't see Parramatta. I cannot see, Darwin, where Renuga lives. I may have her address, but I cannot see. So there is a limitation that you have, seeing is believing. That is, we have the limitation. Then Anuman Praman. In that, we just only speculate. That is speculative knowledge. Speculation can go wrong very easily. Because I kept something on a so-and-so floor in so-and-so cupboard, but somebody must have changed the place from there where it was. So my speculation may go wrong. I speculated rightly, but it appeared to be wrong because by the time somebody reaches there, it wasn't there. So what is more beneficial is Shabda Praman. Shabda means your scriptural injunction or a proof which is written, your driving license, your date of birth certificate, your passport. Those are the Shabda Praman. Why it is Shabda Praman? Because there are 2 types of Shastra, Smriti Shastra and Shruti Shastra. Okay? Smriti, in Kali Yuga, we have a very, very short memory. Okay? So, Smriti and Shruti. So, first comes Shruti, when we hear from somebody. Except the Bollywood songs, we can forget everything else. Kaho Na Pyar Hai, everyone remembers. Right? So now, if you look at the Shruti, that means we heard. And Smriti is to remember that. People in the earlier ages, in Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, they were Smriti Dhara, they were Shruti Dhara. They could remember, they could, once they'll hear, they will remember forever. They didn't have to write anything down. So when Krishna and Balaram went to Sandipani Muni's ashram for their shiksha, or Lord Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna, when they went to, um, their Rishi for learning, they were all Shrutidhar and Smritidhar. They remembered everything. Krishna learned 64 types of, kalas in 64 days. 1 day for one kala. So that is Krishna. Okay, so why? So Vedavyas, as an incarnation of Lord Krishna, literary incarnation of Lord Krishna, wrote everything down so that people in the Kali Yuga who has short memories will not struggle. All these things are written format. All granthas, all aranyakas, all samhitas, all Upanishads, they are all in written form. That's why we have everything available to us. We are so lucky that Srila Prabhupada has given us all this knowledge in the book form. Okay. Let's go to the next verse. Yogastha kuru karmani
योगस्य कुरु कर्माणि
sangat taktva dhananjaya
सङ्गं तत्त्वमदञ्जय
siddha siddhayo samo bhutva
सिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा
samatvam yoga uchyate.
समत्वं योग उच्यते
Yogastha kuru karmani
योगस्य
योगस्थ
कुरु
कुरु कर्माणि
कर्माणि
sangat taktva dhananjaya
Sangam
सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय
siddha siddhayo samo bhutva
सिद्धियो
सिद्धियो
समभूत्वा
समभूत्वा
samatvam yoga uchyate.
समत्वं
त्वं
योग
योग
उच्यते
उच्यते
Yogastha kuru karmani sangat taktva dhananjaya
योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं
सङ्गं
त्यक्त्वा
त्यक्त्वा
धनञ्जय
धनञ्जय
siddha siddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate.
सिद्धिय
सिद्धियो
सिद्धयो
समभूत्वा
समभूत्वा
समत्वं
समत्वं
योग
योग
उच्यते
उच्यते
Yogastha kuru karmani sangatyaktva dhananjaya siddha siddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate.
योगस्थ कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्धिय सिद्धयो
सिद्धियो
समभूत्वा
समभूत्वा
समत्वं
समत्वं योग उच्यते
अच्छते
Mataji's.
योगस्थ कुरु कर्माणि
Karmani Sangam Tadva Dhananjaya Siddhi Asidhyo Sama Bhutva Samadvam Yoga Yukyate.
Yeah, next.
योगास्था कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं तत्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्या सिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वा योग उच्यते
Wonderful. Next.
योगस्थ
Next,
कुरु
Mataji.
कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्धि असिद्धो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते
Prabhuji.
योगस्थ कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्धिय सिद्धयो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते
Very good. Rishi, Prabhu? Okay, we'll leave Rishi for now. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjun, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjun, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So now the yoga definition is changed here, isn't it? So Krishna is saying, Yogastha, become situated in yoga. In 2.3, Krishna said, I will describe this knowledge in terms of yoga, by which you will be able to stay free from karmic bondage. So here Krishna is describing. So that be situated in yoga and kuru karmani, do your karma. Kuru karmani means do your karma. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. How does one do one's work? Karma without attachment to fruits. Sangam tyaktva and asiddha asiddhayo samo bhutva. So what does it mean to be detached from worldly fruits? That means whatever one gets success or failure, samo bhutva. Okay, be equipoised, whether it is failure or success. So be equipoised, and such equanimity is called as yoga. Because you are in union with the Lord, so and you are offering all the fruits to Lord, then it does not mean whether you are getting the fruits or not getting the fruit. It does not mean that you don't do your job properly. I should always try to do the job to the best of my abilities and get the fruits which way I can offer to the Lord. But in case, because of something, there is a failure, I should not get disappointed, because I'm yet offering that to Krishna and trying to understand where did I go wrong, so that next time I'll be able to improve upon what I did wrong. So be equipoised in such equanimity. Sammatvam yoga uchyate. This is fascinating, isn't it? Is this not fascinating? That I'm working, and then finally got failed. And then I'm saying, oh, it doesn't matter to me. Show me one person who does like this. You know, it's very hard. But prayatnante parabeshwaraha. So we have to do the prayatna. So Krishna is giving sutra like definition of yoga, and he will give one more definition of yoga in the verse in this section of Gita itself. So here, let us look at this definition of yoga as samatvam. Samatvam means equanimity, being equal. We may say that what yoga means to connect to Krishna spiritually. Physical exercise of yoga, in one limb of one kind of yoga, there is Ashtanga yoga, which has 8 limbs, out of which it is just one limb. And there are many different kinds of yogas, like Karma yoga, Dhyana yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Bhakti yoga. So generally, we know yoga means connection. So connection of Atma to Krishna. Then why is Krishna telling here Samatvam yoga uchyate? Such equanimity is called as yoga as well. So that equanimity, where we understand and realize that I am I have to do the best of my abilities to work. If I am winning, that still it does not make me very pride. It gives me a pride. Or if I lose, it does not give me any pride because I am what I am, equipoised. Because I am equipoised, it does not make any difference to me because anyway, I'm doing it for Krishna. Is that possible? First of all, there is a question I'm asking everyone. Can we look at ourselves and say that, oh, I did whole lot of job for the whole day and then I got failure and still it doesn't make any difference to me? Is it not very fascinating to understand this? Not possible, right? But abhyase, you have to abhyasa, do the abhyasa of that in order for abhyasa of success and failure both. Because we still think that I am the doer. When we are thinking that I am the doer, that time this bhava coming to our mind that even if I am, being success, I'm offering fruits to Krishna. If I'm failing, I'm offering fruit to Krishna. But what we need to learn in those failures, that what went wrong because of which I've failed to achieve the results, and correct those next time so that every time I'm doing it, I'm doing it right. And then offering those positive results to Krishna, then negative results to Krishna. Yeah. So with Krishna in our heart as a Paramatma, he will guide you well. So Samatvam Yoga Uchyate means that the equanimity about material things create the foundation by which one can practice spiritual life. So this is how we understand the whole phase. The calm, be focused, and be focused and be clear, be equipoised. There is nothing in this world to get too excited about, and there is nothing in this world to get too agitated about with, because it is all temporary. End of the day. Yeah. So two kinds of distraction we have in this world: distraction by pleasure and distraction by pain. So when we get either of these, the distraction, pleasure or pain, we get excited or we get agitated. But we understand that actually neither matters. Why? Because both are temporary. So therefore, when we don't get too excited, but by things, then we get focused on what is long-term goal. Long-term goal is to go back to Godhead, to Krishna. And that is the glorious journey that I'm talking about. I'm bringing back to the point that glorious journey to death. And that is what the union with the Lord, yoga. So yoga means the connection with ultimate truth, Krishna. But how will that connection happen? That connection will happen when I'm not looking here and there at material things. So this looking here and there happens with my excessive agitation with material things. So if I work calmly, then I stay focused on spiritual reality. Samatvam yoga uchyate. This is the art of yoga, actually being focused. Any questions?
So if we have to differentiate between these two verse text number 47 and 48, like they're both saying the same thing, isn't it?
Yes, in a different way. In a different way. That's the only difference. Good question.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Renuka, Saloni Mataji, Shishakti Mataji, any questions? Okay. Looks like everybody is either happy or looking forward to close this class as soon as possible now. So it's a bit longer. So I mean, we need to have a 1.5 hour of the class. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us to complete the course, And the good news is that we got from Education Ministry, we have been approved as a Bhakti Shastri Center, exam center. So that's the good news for all of us. So you get Bhakti Shastri degree at the end of Bhakti Saransh, but you need to write the exams. So yeah. But that's the reason our courses are modular, and that makes the life easier in terms of your study and what exam that you're going to give. And yeah, so that way it's going to be easy. Yeah, so all of you will become Bhakti Shastri degree holder. And the other thing is you should become a preacher is what because our goal is to develop spiritual leaders. Okay, we'll close the class. Let's chant Vaishnava Pranam together. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki jai
Krishna Prabhuji ki
Pandava
jai.
Nirjala Ekadashi ki jai.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can stay back. Others can drop.